Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back to BK's Baits here with Motion Sports. If you guys wouldn't mind, hit the like and subscribe button. All right, we're through with that. Now we're on to the baits, the good stuff. Guys, we put it up on the poll earlier in the week. Did y'all want to talk about red baits? Almost everyone said yes, with the exception of like two or three salty no's. And so, for you salty people who don't want me talking about red baits, sorry. I don't feel like it's that big of a secret, but I guess we're going to talk about it. So where am I starting with red? Why are we throwing red? What's the deal with red? Um, why do I need to know about red baits? Well, personally, I don't know what it is about that red, but there's certain times a year, especially around when the crawfish spawn up and through the pre-spawn, that those red baits really start firing off. I mean, our crawfish here are kind of orange brownish. Not so much like the vibrant red until a certain time of the year, but whatever reason, it pisses those bass off. So I'm gonna start with my one of my favorite baits when it's red season time, and that is going to be a crankbait. This one is a Lucky Craft 2.5 square bill. It is silent. I think when it's cold, that water starts getting cold. I like the silent crankbaits a lot better than something with a lot of knock. Um, and a lot of guys are like, "That's a square bill. It's cold. Why are you throwing it shallow?" But this is something when the water gets warm. It's been sunny all day. Like there's rocks that are heating up. They hold that heat. Shallow riprap. This is where I'm taking this out. My home lake closest to me, Lavon, has a bunch of rock on it. And last February, 2 Februarys ago, on this crankbait only, I went out and caught 3 fish in an afternoon, and they weighed 7, 6, and 5.5 pounds. So when those big ones kind of start sliding up, this is juice for me. I mean, I probably own 4, 5 versions of this crankbait alone. So I like it. Now, if you're like, "Hey, Blake, my fish are a little deeper. I really don't think I can utilize that," then I would say a DT 8 or 10. This is a 10 in demon color. That's what that color is called. And let me adjust that light because it's a little bit bright on those crankbaits. Guys, the thing I really care about with red baits, and you'll see with all the baits I'm going to show you all day, that orange belly. Like when the belly is, I don't know what it is about having that orange in there, but I really, really like that. And I think the fish do too. I don't know what it is, why it needs to be orange, but it does. So that's, wood, rock. I'm reaching for crankbaits. Blake, I'm fishing all grass. What do I need to throw there? Well, I got two choices for you, and one doesn't necessarily have to be grass, but we'll start with it because it is the grass killer, and that is a chatterbait. Guys, we talk about it pretty much every week. That we're talking about power fishing or baits that get bit, catch fish. This is a jackhammer in their fire crawl. That is a Z-Man razor shad in their new trailer color. I used to actually have to take the white ones and dye them red. But yeah, um, we all know the drawing power and just the fish catching ability of that chatterbait. But this color, especially certain times of the year, ripping it around grass, deep grass, yo-yoing it on bottom through the grass, man, like around dock pilings, whatever. This bait gets bit. Right now, I mean, you can see I have the line tie on there. Like this is pretty much tied up year round, like through the red season. Um, this does. I mean, every trip this goes with me right now. So highly recommend it. They have some other ones. Like if you're like, Blake, that is too red. Like I don't feel confident throwing that bait. They make some that are red, black, red, green. Thunder Cricket makes their own version. The custom ones have theirs. So, fine with what you're comfortable with, but I find it the redder the better. And I mean, you guys can see orange belly. Lastly, third bait, guys, and this is probably one that I would say if you're fishing a cold front and those fish are super lethargic, Andrew Upshaw actually just did a video on this, especially for grass lakes. It's a red eye shad or lipless crankbait, whatever brand you like. I throw 3 or 4 different brands of lipless crankbaits. You've heard me talk about the LV series, the LV 500 and the LV 150. I really like those, but they're also $16 a bait. So, if you're like, I don't want to spend $16 on LV, Strike King makes a great version. They're red eye shad. One thing I will say about lipless crankbait, guys, that y'all may not think about this when you're buying them, but that's the normal red eye shad, the BBs, and then this is their 2-tap. So the sound can make a big difference depending on the day, but you'll see with both these crankbaits here, these lipless crankbaits, both of them have an orange belly. Like, they're 2 different colors. There's like a Rayburn red and fire crawl, whatever this one's called. But guys, yeah, the sound matters and that orange belly matters. I've had days where I go out and this higher pitch BB frequency is really catching them, or I start off with the BBs and they're like barely nipping the back hook, and then I switch to this and they start choking it. How heavy of one should you get? If you're fishing grass, how deep is your grass? Is it a foot? If the lake really low, is there only a foot of clearance? You might need to throw that 1/4 ounce, something really, really light. Keep the rod tip high, burning a little bit faster. If you're trying to fish 8 feet of grass, I probably wouldn't throw a 1/4 ounce. I would probably, go up to half at least, maybe a 3/4. That LV's 3/4, and 8 to 12 feet is where I really like to throw that bait. So, utilize this. And the thing that's great about this bait is you can fish it fast even when it's cold, right? You don't necessarily have to, but you really can search for them with this bait. So, guys, 3 options, all power fishing, bright red baits. All types of covers, but I mean, y'all can see kind of the thematic color scheme and all these baits that I pick. They are really, really red and really, really orange on the belly. I think that's just, I don't know if it's a confidence thing, if it's a Texas thing, but if I was going to any state and I thought red baits were working, these are staples I would have tied on no matter where I was fishing. Guys, that's it. Comment your favorite red bait below, and have a great Friday. Good weekend. If you get out on the lake, be safe. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate the support.